We're back here at the 2021 Premier Rugby Sevens, and this is Danny Barrett, Olympian, and one of the players on display here, showing us how it's done. This is the vibe. This is how you get the party started. Such high energy. This guy on the rugby field is something special as well. It's brilliant scenes here in Memphis, Tennessee, at the Inaugural Championship. Big Danny Barrett take a bow. And let's go to Gareth Rees, Hall of Famer, with conditions pitch side.
Yeah, downtown Memphis here. It's just before 4 o'clock local time, but it's super hot in this stadium. It's kind of muggy and a bit of wind picking up. So we'll see finals if anyone's going to make use of that wind with their kicking game. Should be a good one. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Gareth. It's very hot. Not sure why you're wearing a long sleeve over there, my friend. We'll come back to that later. AutoZone Park is the venue where rugby hits the global stage. Yet 2 matches remain. I'm Dallin Stanford, joined alongside by Olympian Madison Hughes and Brianna Kim, former All-American. Your thoughts so far, how things have gone today, on and off the field?
My gosh, on the field, electric. Off the field, electric. The level of play has just gone up and up throughout the day. You have this awesome shot of this marching band here. Memphis has really brought it. It is amazing to see such a scene.
Rugby Sevens is a festival. It's about the atmosphere off the pitch. It's the atmosphere on the field, and the players have brought it today, and the crowd have matched their energy. I mean, it's been fantastic. We've seen Olympians performing at their very best. We've seen newcomers emerge and really show they deserve to be on the same stage, and it's been amazing to watch.
Something that's so amazing about rugby, because it's such a growing sport here in the U.S., you could be a kid here in the city of Memphis interacting, running around with these Olympians who just came back from Tokyo. Earlier in the week, you had these women Olympians going out to a practice with the Memphis inner city kids, running around with them. You'll see Naya Tapper here in just a second, who has really led those efforts. It's so awesome to see them so invested in the grassroots efforts of rugby here in the U.S.
Well, you mentioned the Olympians. Let's take a look at the names that are here. There are 2 names that are injured that aren't here, Gustaitis and Carlin Isles, but it's a great list. A lot of your teammates there, Madison.
Yeah, I mean, it's players with experience all over the world. Perry Baker, 2-time Player of the Year. Alev Kelter, Naya Tapper, among the best in the world. So this is a group of truly elite rugby players who've had victories over every country around. So we're really a privilege to watch them performing at their best on home soil.
This is what we're playing for, the Women's Inaugural Championship at the Premier Rugby Sevens 2021. That will go home with either the Loonies or the headliners, as the teams look to take the tunnels right now. And we have word that the Loonies coaching staff, Robin McDowell and Kelly Griffin, will get a tattoo of the Loonies logo if they win this game. And I'm not making that up.
That's news to me, Dallin.
Well, it's not news to them.
That's amazing. You know, when I was down there on the sideline, you heard them. They were just saying, stay calm and composed, calm and composed. And that's what the Loonies have to do for this game. They've got the veterans in Alev Kelter, Nana Vesey, who are just absolute experts in this craft. The headliners on the other side of the pitch are just going to have to keep it nice and simple. Don't quite have those players, but of course, they've got Naya Tapper and Chris Thomas, who are electric in their own rights, always burning the field.
And the headliners came out victorious when these 2 teams met earlier today. So a huge part of Rugby Sevens is you lose, you have to get right back up, get right back on that horse, and get back into this next match. And so the Loonies are going to have to show they've learned the lessons from that one and are ready to perform here.
History in the making. The first professional Sevens tournament in North America is here in Memphis, Tennessee. And it's the Women's Cup final that features the Loonies and the headliners, and those are supporters of the Loonies in white. A mammoth 14 minutes await these 2 sides. The Loonies, a team coached by Kelly Griffin and Rob McDowell, to get that tattoo if they win, of course. And they will have some impressive players on their side as well. Several Eagles and Olympians, some Canadian legends as well. Meanwhile, the headliners, and they're coached by Andrew Locke. Naya Tapper is certainly one we said to keep your eyes on.
Guys, you can't emphasize enough how historic this moment is. Professional women's rugby on the scene. We talked about equal play, equal pay here on the scene. Something that is not common in women's sport anywhere in the world, let alone this country. Truly a historic moment that we're going to look back on. Congrats to all the women who have competed today. It's absolutely tremendous.
It's Alev Kelter, the captain, against Naya Tapper, the leader of the headliner side. Headliners to kick off. We're underway here in the Women's Championship Final at the 2021 Inaugural Premier Rugby Sevens event. Kicked downtown by Alina Olsen. Picked up by Haley Tarfo. It's the Loonies in white, looking to shift to Kelter. Early ball for Alev Kelter. looking to go against Tapper and then steps back in field against Katie Johnson. They reload, do the Loonies. And Arrow creeps in, so diving into the headliners, pinching possession. Olsen gets it away to Sullivan. Sullivan's on a run. Looking for the switch, didn't come in the end to Chris Thomas. Thomas wants possession. Many danger players on this side. Flat passes, they rip it away. Nikki Kenyon. Now they come to Katie Johnson. KJ offers one dummy in. Kelter says, I'm not falling for that one. Huge contact. Body still on the ground there from Katie Johnson. Hope she's all right. Still 6 on the field. Sam Sullivan finds the width to Olsen. Can they create some magic here to Thomas? Chris Thomas cuts back in. Hurdling her way out of this one. It'll be the first try in the Women's Championship final. The headliners go in, and it's Chris Thomas.
And what great stuff from the headliners, turning over that ball in defense, just being so calm and composed to get that ball. Of course, first stretched it on the right sideline. Of course, KJ Johnson sacrificing her body right here from Alev Kelter, best in the world there. But of course, then they spun it back left, and it was a late switch. It wasn't just the reversal in lines, it was the pause that made the Loonies defense sit back and allow Chris Thomas to hit that hole and score the first try in this match.
If there were any doubts about how much some of these Olympians want to win this match, Alev Kelter putting those to rest right now. 2 big hits in the first couple minutes of this game, and there are bragging rights on the line. These players will be back at training in a week or so, and they want to be the one to walk into that training session knowing they won this game.
Focused is Alev Kelter of that huge tackle. Chris Thomas, the try scorer, volunteers with the Boys and Girls Club, which she attended as a youth, giving opportunity for the next generation. 7-0 with a successful conversion for the headliners. Squeeze towards that corner. Miracle ball over the top to Sarah Levy. Levy, such an electric player to watch. Levy in open space. Levy, it's got great energy. Tapper though, 7 on 7. Brings it to the ground. Still available there for the Loonies. Barvesi, early ball to Kelter. Steps 1, steps 2. Alev Kelter. Power body with Barvesi there. Ripped free from Aikens. Here they come now. The Loonies, Levy on the outside. Started the magic, flicks it for that far corner. Looking for the stretch, it's there! It's a try! Hali Tafo'o scores for the Loonies, and they respond in quick succession.
Sarah Levy, a fantastic break. She saw the gap, came across the field, and almost dared one of the headliners defenders to shoot down on her. When they didn't, she took the gap, went the length. Naya Tapper, a fantastic cover defense, and it's really hard to beat Naya Tapper in a race to the line. The Loonies did a really good job following up on her initial break, going width and then to the far width, and Levy was there, found Tofo, and they're in for the try to even it up.
The best teams arise not after the first few phases because you have just these incredible athletes. They arise because after multiple phases, they're able to keep supporting each other, and then at the end, exploit a huge gap for the try.
Alev Kelter nails the side-on conversion. So important, the extra 2 points. It's 7 apiece here with 3 to play in the first half in the Women's Championship final. Kelter. What a player. Alev means night flame in Turkish. She's certainly that. Taking time for the restart. So important to get this ball back. Bounces. They let it go. Alina Olsen, it's been picked up. Tafo, the try scorer, is there on the spot. Tremendous scenes. Julia Falk as well. The Loonies. Levy drifts across field. Sarah Levy, captain the 15s program as well for the US. Kelter steps back in. Alev Kelter gets the fan to the face. It's brutal. Barvesi. As the Loonies look to range up on the outside. Tafo'o goes in. Not able to get through straight away. Lays it back. Tapper is all over this. Naya Tapper. Wow.
And just excellent recognition there. Naya Tapper could have committed to the tackle, but instead trusted her teammate to finish the tackle and go in for that poach and turn that ball over. Loonies were riding all the momentum there. Well done by the headliners captain.
Naya Tapper able to get her hands on the ball before the Loonies player was there to support. So you have to release the ball when you're on the ground. Naya Tapper getting her hands on it, trying to steal the ball, the Loonies player not releasing, and that is a massive moment in this match. Loonies looked like they were about to score. They turned it over within a meter of the headliners' try line.
we good?
If the headliners can get away now, they've had a big break.
Nikki Kenyon. Important to go in the middle. They do really well. Olsen, the playmaker. Not too much happening there. And Chris Thomas comes to help out. It's on the ground now. They've got to release. The headliners pinned inside their 22 and give possession away.
We had a maul formed. Ball was unplayable. Brought in by Pink. White ball.
The referee saying that the maul formed there, so that would have happened if two headliners players went into the contact with one from the Loonies team. Not sure. The headliners will feel a little aggrieved, I think. I'm not sure that second player was fully committed, but obviously it is the referee's decision. Decides that, and now the Loonies with a great platform, 10 meters out from the headliners' line.
7 apiece. 40 seconds in the first half, taken away. Sarah Levy.
We come up. We have another scrum.
So scrum reset. The headliners unbeaten in pool play.
Crouch.
The Loonies' only loss was to the headliners, 22 points to 10.
Set.
Different story right now when Silverware's on the line in the women's championship final. Here they rip around the free side and the gap opens up. It's Delaney Aikens. She's rock and roll in Memphis, Tennessee.
Delaney Aikens, Canadian player who has really impressed me throughout the day. Her work around the scrum to be able to open up the space has really come to fruition. Now she gets the reward for opening up that hole, taking it herself.
We can see Alev Kelter came on a hard short line there, and that's what drew Alina Olsen across and created the gap through which Aikens scored.
It's amazing how much, even when you don't have the ball, it's amazing how much work you do off the ball to create that space that makes it so much easier for the ball carrier, and that's what makes these players stand out.
Alev Kelter knocks it over yet again, and that's the difference so far. It's 14 points to 7. It's the Loonies that lead the headliners in the women's championship final here in Memphis, Tennessee. Second half up next. Welcome back here to Memphis, Tennessee. The fans are absolutely delighted to be here representing Tiger Rugby and all the teams across the different playing sides here in North America. A delight to see.
It's so awesome to see these domestic players get the full support of their club teammates. That's what American rugby is all about.
Headliners, here they come, trail 14 to 7. Haven't lost a game all day long, but possession turned over to the Loonies. Here comes Alev Kelter. Kelter up the middle. Alev Kelter is as scary as a dentist appointment, and she's in. It's Kelter magic in Memphis, Tennessee.
Came from the turnover and the breakdown, and there was a fragmented defense, and anytime Alev Kelter gets a one-arm tackle, gets a soft shoulder, she's going to power through it because she's that powerful and that explosive of an athlete.
Dallin, I would definitely say scarier than a dentist appointment there. But again, Alev Kelter just showing her absolute class, and we see it again here. Again, the one arm from KJ Johnson, and KJ Johnson is a hard hitter, so that is by no means an easy feat. And of course, Alev Kelter just comes in and finishes it all.
Depends if you're getting a root canal or what you're doing, but Alev Kelter is certainly one of our favorite players to see on the World Series and here at the Premier Rugby Sevens. 21 points to nothing. The Loonies have turned around a deficit of 22-10 in the pool stages to lead here in the Women's Championship final. If you're just tuning in, 3 tries to 1 so far. The headliners in pink and yellow look to respond. Many talented players on their side as well. What can they come up with here? Johnson moves it away. They go to the outside. Strawsco. Oh, big bump on Levy. In to help out as well as Rachel Strasdis. Certified referee and volunteers at tournaments as well. Headliners. Need speed on the outside, and this is where Chris Thomas comes in and play. Thomas skipping free. Thomas one-on-one with Alev Kelter. This will be interesting. Oh, Kelter gets cut on the inside. And a stunning response from the headliners. And Chris Thomas makes this just a bit more interesting.
Madison, this is exactly what you talked about. These Olympians are not going to be outdone by each other. You see Chris Thomas making the initial break on the sideline, beats Alev Kelter. You don't see Alev Kelter often miss a tackle. Chris Thomas, of course, leading the way with the headliners with Naya Tapper, coming from University of Central Florida initially and just has ascended through the scene, and now she's one of the best for USA Sevens.
And it's all these hypothetical conversations we have all the time. It's one thing in training, but it's like, I'd beat you one-on-one if I broke three, and Chris Thomas is going to say that to Alev Kelter next time she sees her in training.
Chris Thomas has 2 tries in this game. He's 21-14. 4 minutes to go in the second half. Chris Thomas, passionate player. Can she get more possession for her side? The championship title is on the line. Huge contact. Still stays with Akins. And Alev Kelter. Still going is Alev Kelter. Flicks it free to Spiff Cedric. And now Nana Farvesi, captain the Women's Eagles in Vancouver and Edmonton. Lovely switch to Sarah Leedy. Leedy on the outside. Leedy's being chased. Sarah Leedy and Naya Tapper. There's another foot race that you'd love to watch. Delaney Akins puts the kick through. Akins, is it the right option? Akins chases. Yes, it could be. Akins is in. And it's the Loonies that start to etch that tattoo on their coaches' bodies.
A fantastic little kick through by Akins. She spotted the space in behind. And it's one thing to spot the space, but also knowing that when you kick it, you've already got to be accelerating through that gap. She's fastest to the ball, and a really good job. It's not easy to scoop up a rolling ball a meter from the try line under pressure. Akins does a really good job, dots her down, and that could be the try we look back upon as the one that put this out of reach.
We'll watch the kick from front off the uprights. 28-14. Delaney Akins, well, interesting, she grew up in a small town. In order to stay fit, she ran up and down hills, carried hay bales, cut down trees, flipped combine tires, and the list goes on. Well, that's the reward right there. 2 tries in the women's championship final. 14 points the buffer with 2.5 to play. The Loonies in white. Kelter. Knocked down, and here it comes again to Falk. It stays alive against Amanda Hull. Still here for the Loonies again, Alev Kelter. Akins yet again. Akins looking to cut loose again. Akins has been tremendous. Only tackled by her own player, Julia Falk. Little dummy, show and go, bit of space. Sophie Pers gets the swish. Great little switch infield. Penalty though goes to the headliners with under 2 to play.
And this is where the headliners need to retain the ball. Loonies have just spent a minute or two really being creative with their own ball, resulting in several tries here. They're going to go for touch. Well, looks like they faked themselves out here. They go for touch and hopefully set up a nice platform for themselves.
And you can score 2 or 3 tries in a minute and a half in sevens. That can happen. So if the headliners score soon, they'll know that if they recover that kickoff, they're right back in this. So can't afford to take too much time off the clock here getting set up for this line-out. But if they can score soon, they're right back in this game.
And you know that Naya Tapper stepping back onto the scene, she's subbed back onto the field. You know they're probably looking for her.
Actually, Alev Kelter has lined up on the wing here opposite Naya Tapper. Not her usual defensive position, but she's saying, I will stop you, Naya.
It's overthrown. Let's see if they get possession. It comes down yet. Strasgo in for the headliners. They shifted to Thomas on the outside. Chris Thomas. Thomas has got 2 already in this game. Able to bring her down. Under a minute to go. 2 tries needed. 2 converted tries needed. Take us to do extra time. Oh, that'll be a yellow card to Alev Kelter. No, just the knock-on is the call.
Alev Kelter had the game in her hands. Could have sealed it off with a nice sliding try under the post, but just not able to recover. And the referee deeming that she was trying to catch that ball, not intentionally block it and stop it from going to Naya Tapper. Intentionally knocking that ball down would be a penalty. Just a scrum for the headliners. And 30 seconds to go. So you reckon they've got to score in the next 10 seconds, I would say, in order to have a chance of getting the conversion, which they also need, and then the kickoff. So you just got to have taken the conversion before the clock hits 0. That's what you've got to do in order to have time for the kickoff.
And you see there the Loonies were just all huddled up, taking a couple of nice deep breaths to keep themselves composed, knowing that they are so close, but they just have to stay patient.
How good has Delaney Akins been? Shawnigan Lake School product, Youth Olympic bronze medalist in 2018. for Canada.
Let's go.
Just 21 years of age. Final moments here in the Women's Championship final. 28-14. Is it enough for the Loonies?
Set. Hold. Hold.
Big scrum. Ball is out. Headliners need to make something of this. Sullivan goes on the outside. Sam Sullivan. Sullivan against Aikens. Sullivan. Dragged down by Aikens. What a tackle. Showing great heart.
We have one last line out. One line out.
Aikens thinking maybe she had the final say in that game. Referee is saying one last play. But that jersey pull is very difficult, especially when it's someone bigger than you. Delaney Aikens has had herself a game.
Wait, on the mark.
Final play here. The Loonies. One hand on the trophy.
Use it.
Delaney Aikens been involved in everything. They need to keep a meter gap. Ball comes down. It's still here. Amanda Hull. Ball there, just needs to put it out, and there it is. It's the Loonies that make headlines here at the 2021 Premier Rugby Sevens Inaugural Championship by taking the title in the women's final, and that's how much it means to the side. Massive congratulations to the Loonies and their coaches Kelly Griffin and Robin McDowell, who will have to get a tattoo of the logo on their bodies. Tremendous scenes here in Memphis, Tennessee.
Just some outstanding rugby. Really was the champagne rugby for the women today. All culminated in that cup final. Tremendous efforts on both sides. That was such an entertaining game to watch.
Loonies played so well. Levy, Aikens, Kelter really led from the front, making breaks, and a dominant performance. And it's fantastic to see how they came back from that defeat to the headliners earlier, turned this deficit around, and really won that game quite comfortably in the end.
Alev Kelter leading her side there, getting the applause, the high fives. A true team effort as the game of seven. Subs needed to be equally used. And a brilliant occasion on the global stage, supported locally and around the world. Robert McDowell comes in, one of the coaches with Kelly Griffin. And we're going to take a short break. Plenty more action coming at you here in Memphis, Tennessee. The Women's Championship won by the Loonies by 28 points to 14 over the headliners.